Alright, here is my setup. This is my propane tank super sucker collection setup, and my truck that happily runs on biodiesel made from vegetable oils collected. So here's what we got. Chain binders, it's a 500 gallon propane tank, I don't know if I already said that. And 2-inch suction hose. I got this from Marietta, Ohio from Summit Rubber Company. Per suggestion of NR34 on the forum. This is what I use for my outlet, and a lot of guys use just one as their in and their out, but I chose to use 2-inch on everything, and I chose to make an in and an outlet that are separate. So this is my in I use on the top, and then I use the bottom for the outlet. But you could use the same one. I just like the flow that you get from having it on top. You get sort of a siphoning effect when you have low amounts of vacuum. You can still move oil with it kind of siphoning itself into the tank. So anyway, here's what we've got. I'm getting ready to pressurize the tank to move sludge that's inside the tank into my totes so that I can go and collect nice and clean oil tomorrow. And here's how everything works. I plumbed mine up different than a lot of guys because I use mine for both vacuum and pressure. We're out on my farm right now, as you can tell, and I have no real way other than going way over to the house to pressurize the tank where all my holding totes are. So I use the pumps to pressurize the tank. But this is the inlet. This is the intake from outside air, which is what I'm using now to pressurize the tank. And if I wanted to suck the tank down, I would shut this valve and open this one. And I've got some pressure on the tank, so I'm not going to open it. But I would open this one, and of course this is my vacuum gauge that tells me how much vacuum I have. And then from there, it goes to the end of each pump, N1 and N2. And these are just DC powered Thomas vacuum pumps. And I've got them set up with a switch so that once I plug it into the truck, I can turn it off and on here at the tank. And that is just 8-gauge power wire that I purchased at the stereo store that used to sell car audio components, and it was really cheap and it works great. So that goes to my truck and powers the pumps. But anyway, from the out of the pumps, they're both connected. They go into this T, and if I wanted to suck vacuum on the tank but get rid of the air, I would get rid of it through this valve. But if I want to pressurize the tank, I'll shut that valve and I'll open this valve, and that will allow the flow to go down into the tank. And you can see also I hooked up a setup so that I can use my compressor to pressurize the tank quicker if I'm back processing fuel. So works really well. I did it a little bit different than most, but like I said, I had to use the pumps to do both purposes, and a lot of guys don't use these to pressurize tanks, but they actually will pressurize, I think, around to 30 psi. And I have found, as you will see in a second, that 10 psi is plenty to move oil with. So that's what we're gonna do. My in and out is a 2-inch setup. These are 2-inch ball valves, and that's aluminum 2-inch cam lock fitting. And like I said, I got the suggestion to put the inlet on the top because it gives you kind of a safety control, so that if you'd ever lose vacuum totally, you can shut this off and you won't lose oil as if you were sucking it from the bottom and you lost vacuum. You would have no way to get your oil out of the hose per se. So basically, I've been really impressed with having this on top, and I just used the same cam lock hose fitting to go from the bottom back up to the top, and it works really great. The tank was 50 bucks, which I know that's hard to believe, but I got it at a local gas company. It was a junk tank, and I painted it John Deere green because that's all they had at the hardware store. So that was the cheapest purchase, but you could message me for the other purchases. This was probably about $1,000 total to set this whole thing up, trailer and all. And you know, I did a lot of shopping to get some good deals, so that was what saved a lot of my headaches, was taking my time and building this over about a year's time. So now I'm going to pressurize the oil out of the tank into these totes, and you can see right here I've got a pressure gauge that will basically, is it going to focus? And yeah, there's my pressure gauge. Once I open this, you will see, I'm gonna make sure everything's shut. Once I open this, you will see that I have about, probably 5 to 7 pounds in the tank. And that doesn't seem like very much, but for this tank, I will show you just as an example, that's a lot. That is a lot of pressure. So, plenty to push the oil back out through the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is open the bottom, and you can see the oil just started coming through, more like sludge. And then I'm gonna go over and try and do this one-handed and get my gain right. I'm going to pump this back out, and as you can see, everything's working out. I don't know if I can get in there and show you or not. I'm gonna try. Yeah, you can see it. Anyway, works great. I've been really pleased with that. That's really thick, sludgy, nasty crap in there. So, gotta get rid of that. But I can suck a vacuum back onto the tank, and I can suck this 200 or so gallons of sludge up quite nicely. The design is based off of Murphy's Machine's Super Sucker, and vacuum is the way to go. I'd rather spend $5,000 on this thing than all the pumps that I have been through. So that is that. Thanks for watching.